right. So, since I talk about the oppositional defiance disorder attached to ADHD, I'm gonna have a cigarette while I'm talking. Blah, blah, blah. Alrighty, next on the parental emotional abuse is coming up. Research supports the idea that suggests the timing and duration of childhood abuse can impact the way it affects those children later in life and in adulthood. Abuse that occurs early in childhood for a prolonged period of time, for example, can lead to particularly negative outcomes. Negative experiences in a child can also disrupt those developmental periods, leading to changes in the brain later on. One of the doctors from Harvard and his colleague from Harvard Medical School studied the relationship between abuse and brain structure by using MRI technology to identify measured changes in brain structure among young adults who had experienced childhood abuse or neglect. It's kind of interesting, yeah? They found clear differences in 9 brain regions between those who had experienced childhood trauma and those who had not. The most obvious changes were in the brain regions that help balance emotion and impulses, as well as self-aware thinking. The study results indicate that people who have been through childhood abuse or neglect do have an increased risk of developing mental health issues later on. Let me go through a list. Anxiety disorder, bipolar disorder, major depression, personality disorder, PTSD, psychosis, maybe not schizophrenic, but some people do develop, if they already have schizophrenic and they have abusive parents, it makes it a lot worse. One of my friends is schizophrenic, and I understood a lot from her, and that is something that I always keep in mind. All right, so the effect on the brain structure. All right, so we talked about there are 8 regions that's affected. So, decrease the size of the corpus callosum, which integrates cortical functioning, motor, sensory, and cognitive performances between hemispheres, left and right. Second, decreased size of hippocampus, which is important in learning and memory. Third, dysfunction at different levels of HPA axis, which is involved in the stress response. Number 4, less volume in the prefrontal cortex, which affects behavior, emotional balance, and perception. And that is very big for ADHD people. Number 6, overactivity in the amygdala, which is responsible for processing emotions and determining reactions to potentially stressful or dangerous situations. And lastly, we have reduced volume of the cerebellum, which can affect motor skills and coordination. See you next episode.